coming together. But, all of you that I'm a coffee drinker. I drink coffee every day. And I drink Italian coffee. I used to go to Pete's every day. I still love Pete's. I go buy Pete's, but uh, I get Italian coffee that I get in the silver can over at Mona Lisa and over at Lazy Acres. And so I'm a coffee drinker. We have a lot of coffee drinkers. If you are a coffee drinker, just sit down for a second, get ready, because our guest, John, is the number one expert on coffee in San Diego. And he's here this morning. And I'm hoping that you, if anyone has any questions, uh, what's the very best coffee? Is it Jamaican Blue Mountain or something else? Where do you go to get roasted coffee beans fresh out of the roaster? And also, he's going to be talking about his wonderful publication called Espresso. I remember whenever you went into a coffee shop, you could get espresso and just read all about things in San Diego that you don't see or didn't see in the local newspapers and other publications. So, John, we're also here with Arthur. Good morning to you. Welcome. How are you?
I'm great, Mike. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
So, uh, let me ask you, what is a roaster? What is a when we think of roaster, we think of somebody that has a dinner and they say something sort of insulting and funny, but we're talking about a different kind of roasting. What is a roaster, and how important are roasters to people that consume coffee?
Well, some of those guys do exactly what you describe all the time. They're very witty people. But to answer your question, a roaster is the master of the roasting process who handles the machine that roasts the coffee that you and I and everybody else consumes. And a roaster, the man or woman, works on a roaster, which is a oven, usually a drum oven. So a roaster can be operating a roaster, and there you have it. That's what you get.
And how many different places are there in San Diego that a person can go to and buy coffee right out of the roaster?
On my list, I've got something like 240 commercial coffee roasters in San Diego County. I probably don't have them all. There seem to be people popping up all the time. And there are well over 900 coffee shops, coffee houses, lounges, retail coffee establishments that are independent in the county.
Hmm.
So it's a large scene.
Do you have a favorite coffee shop? I think you told me last time you liked the one of the ones that are on it was on Fifth Avenue.
I have so many.
You
I have
can't
so,
just say one.
I
It's like
have
having all your kids. Okay.
right, yes. Which one?
What are some of the ones that you enjoy the most?
Well, my second home is the Cafe Bassam at the corner of Fifth and Redwood,
There it is. That's the
Bakersfield.
one. Yeah, that's a lovely place.
Yeah. There are probably a dozen others that I go to for various reasons. Uh, Occasionally when I want to be totally by myself in private and nobody has any idea who I am or would care. And one of those actually is Woody's at the Boardwalk. It's a tiny little coffee, little snack stand, but it has a grate upstairs.
And when you say the boardwalk, are we talking Pacific Beach?
Yeah, right off of Pacific Beach Drive at
Okay.
the Boardwalk. Wonderful spot.
Now we had a very well-known coffee shop that was next to a bookstore in La Jolla uh, that I think has relocated and changed its name, but
You're referring to the Panican,
the
the
Panican.
Panican that had been there since 1968, that was founded by Bob Sinclair, who was San Diego's patron saint of all things coffee for many, many years. Um, the location uh, the location changed hands and moved to a spot on Fay Street. And I think now it's called the Flower Pot.
Hmm.
And the roaster operation there is called Three Legs Roasters.
But is it still as at the same level as the Panican was?
Yeah, it has a lot of the same DNA
Oh, that's nice.
as the
And of course, and what they served with it was spectacular, really spectacular.
Yeah, yeah, it was unique.
I
It
mean,
was,
I'd like to, because I'd get coffee and I'd go next door to the bookstore
yeah.
and spend some good time there. So, what does a coffee shop bring out in people? I mean, that go there. I see people sitting there on their computers, or I see them, huddled around. It's three or four neighbors huddled around the table. What does it bring out in people? Would you think?
I think and I would hope that it brings out a sense of peace. There are places where you can go be alone amid strangers and yet feel like you're connected to people. A place where you might be able to do some work, um, and a place where you can literally recharge and enjoy yourself for the price of a cup of coffee.
Arthur, you're not a coffee drinker.
I've had 2 cups of coffee my whole life.
How sad.
The first one was in college when I needed to stay up all night writing a paper, and I found that it did nothing but made me feel jittery. The second time was my friend's homemade cold brew, which actually was quite delicious. Um, but I'm already pretty hyperactive, so I find that the effects really just
Well, what do you, can you relate in some way? Can you relate to the idea of a coffee shop sort of being a community center where you come and you talk and exchange ideas and, it's kind of fun as you sip on your espresso and not espresso, but espresso. Uh, do you see that at all?
I think it's a lovely alternative to sitting around with alcoholic beverages, which of course have their own place as well, but any place where people can gather in a community setting and yeah, and exchange ideas and be social is a lovely thing. And coffee has a delicious aroma. And I was looking at the espresso, your publication, and I was amazed to see, as someone who has not really kind of gotten a chance to dig into the world of coffee, how much depth there really is to the beans and the roasting. And I mean, there's so much to ask you about what makes one cup of coffee distinct from another.
Well, first, I have good news for you. There is a a kind of coffee called Excelsa.
Oh,
And Excelsa is a wonderful coffee. It is more or less now coming into the market after having been forgotten for well over a century. Um, and it has less than half the caffeine content
hmm.
uh, per weight of many other Arabica coffees. So if you want to experiment with coffee, that's the bean for you.
Excellent.
And
There's
where do you get that?
There is a place in Ocean Beach, and I think it's called Excelsa. Um, they bring it in. They've been marketing it, roasting it. Little tiny place on Sunset and OB.
Arthur was asking me earlier, how do you decaffeinate?
Yeah, where does decaf coffee come from?
Oh boy.
We're grilling you now.
Yeah.
We're roasting you.
There are several different processes. The probably the least overwhelming one is something called the water process, the Swiss water process. And basically, the coffee's beans are soaked. They're soaked in water and leached, and they get a lot of the caffeine out. Something like 90 odd percent of the caffeine goes. And that's usually pretty painless.
Hmm.
There's a company in San Diego that specializes in that as well. And in a moment, I will remember their name and tell it to you, but it escapes me at the moment. I take that back. It's called Frequent Coffee Producers, and they're roasters in San Diego as well.
There's a coffee shop called the Blue something, the Blue Bottle or the Blue
Whale.
Whale. That seems to be very popular.
I think that's been in La Jolla for a long, long time.
And then I see people lining up for some of these places that seem to have not less caffeine but more caffeine. And I'm thinking about the one on University, a little ways, literally down the road, just a hop and a jump from Whole Foods. And then there's another one down on Goldfinch that has a huge following. What's that all about?
Well, you're referring to Better Buzz on
Yes, Better Buzz,
University
yes.
and Heartwork on Goldfinch.
An encyclopedia of coffee shop knowledge over here.
Oh, no.
I'm already impressed.
No. John's, I didn't do that to trick him. I just revealed my lack of memory.
Well, I'll tell you how I keep abreast of all this. We do a lot of print distribution to cafes. One of the things that we kept after we stopped printing the espresso was the distribution arm. So we bring art, culture, and education print, flyers, posters, brochures, whatever, to the coffee houses.
Oh, okay.
So my guys and I are out there bringing stuff to coffee houses all
For
the time.
example, so let's talk about let's say a musical event or
Mhm.
some sort of art event. What sorts of things are you taking?
Well, we just did the San Diego Opera's production that I think they're premiering it today, which is Fellow Travelers. We brought their flyers to,
Are we on opera season right now?
yeah, it just started.
Do you like
I think literally it's just started
do you
today.
like the opera?
Yeah, yeah. I grew up going to the opera. My Italian grandmother dragged all the grandchildren off to the opera every
In
chance she
New York?
got.
In New York?
So
Was it in New York?
no, here.
Oh, okay.
was- it
The
was
opera here down at the Civic Center?
Yes, back in the day.
Arthur, what about you? Are you an opera fan?
You know, I can say that I absolutely respect the art form. I think it's a fascinating style of vocal that, as a singer myself, I could never begin to touch. But I cannot pretend that I have any knowledge of the. But hey, if you're buying the tickets, I'll be there with a tux on. So
Well, I love the opera. A man named Don Bowder is the
Yeah.
one that introduced me to it. I listened to, I'm a lawyer and I draft a lot of complaints against people that are committing fraud, but it's super complicated, super intricate. And so I will have my headset on and I will be with the nice headset, the one that fits over, the Bose headset. So I can really, and I'll get De L'Amour, I'll get, all of the Italian opera, which I love, Puccini,
Mhm.
love the German opera. Although I always reminds me of Wagner. Woody Allen's line that said, "Every time I listen to Wagner, I want to go invade Russia." But I love the opera, and I can so see how refined coffee and the kind of conversation and the opera go hand in hand. Do you still go to the opera at all?
I not as often as
It's kind of like the church. It's kind of like the church, right?
Right.
You're still deeply, I assume you're Catholic if you're Italian.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't get to the opera very often, unfortunately.
About the same thing with church, about the same
Similar
frequency?
kinds of things. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So now that's it. It's sort of interesting. So the folks at the opera must be thinking that the coffee drinkers, there's going to be some important segment of them that are opera people.
Cafe Society supports the arts, and
Cafe Society. Okay, there you go.
yeah, we've figured out where what I call the terminal crux of that crowd is located, and it's kind of south of 8 and
Okay.
slightly east of 5. But the arts community that wants to reach that crowd, if they have us bring their stuff to them, we have lists of where exactly it should
Wonderful.
go.
Are we
And-
talking Kensington?
Yeah. Mhm.
Adams Avenue?
Adams Avenue, yes, all those places, south of 8, yeah, Adams Avenue.
30th Street's gone crazy. Golden Hill, maybe?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, we should shout out one place that
Go
I
ahead.
have infinite respect for, which is called Bica.
Where's that?
It's on Adams. It is faintly Portuguese, but far more importantly than that, it is run by several people who were chefs or are chefs, and they have an interesting take on culture. They work hard to bring different segments of culture together in their house for specific events, usually nightly. and they bring people together for a sense of community.
Oh, that's
And
wonderful.
and there's great music. There's
And
stuff.
where's that what's the name of it again?
It's called Bika
and that's located on Adams,
on Adams.
roughly 30th or.
Before you get to somewhere before the 15.
All right, good enough. Okay, now here I was in New Mexico. We had a home. Arthur lived there too for what we did for a while, and
We were roommates for a few minutes there. Yeah.
Okay.
And we're living in a place called Pill Hill, not too far from the University of New Mexico Law School, and we had the most lovely local grocery store, and they had it wasn't large, and it was, I guess they'd call it a boutique, and during the fall, they would have these big roasting wagons, and they'd be roasting chili. But one day I went in there, and I saw that there was just a little tiny, not tiny, but a small bag of ungrinded coffee beans called Jamaican Blue Mountain. And I said, is it? And they said, I said, is this? Oh, yeah, it's good. Well, when I got to the cash register, I thought, whoa, ooh, this is like this
Yes.
is expensive.
It's expensive.
Whoa. So I go home and I get it grinded up, and I make a coffee, and I'm thinking, I take a taste, I put a little half and half in there, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Now, am I right about that? Is Jamaican Blue Mountain?
Yes, you are.
Did
Yes,
it
you are.
inspire an opera? It sounds like it might have.
Well-
Good coffee could inspire a lot of things.
Well, talk to us about Jamaican Blue Mountain. I know it's hard to get.
It's very hard to get. The Japanese have bought futures of their production for years in advance, but sometimes it's available. It's not cheap. There is one particular producer called the Wallingford Estate, which is the creme of the creme. Pardon the pun.
Are they here in San Diego or?
No, they're an importer. They're an importer based in Jamaica. But
One
it's a
thing, so
tiny market.
so if you want, okay, well, let me say this. Well, if you want to get the Jamaican Blue Mountain, is there a way to do that?
Yes. Yeah.
How do you do it?
There is a company called well, it's called Neumann, but oh boy, what is it? Anyway, Neumann AG. It's based in New York. They have an outlet in San Diego.
Where's it located? I'm going to go the second we leave. I'm going straight over there.
You won't find it. You won't find it there, but you can contract to have some of it sent to you green.
Oh, okay.
And then you would have someone roast it for you, or you
Okay.
would roast it yourself.
Well, no, I will be roasting it myself.
Actually, Mike, it's not. I shouldn't say it's easy. It's not, but you can learn to do it. It's time and fire, like any other kind of cooking.
All right.
And you can do it in a pan outside. Just don't inhale the smoke, because the first thing that goes up in the smoke from roasting coffee is the caffeine. And if you inhale the smoke, your heart will race and you will not be a happy guy.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm not going to do that then.
All right.
All right. So there's no way to retail purchase it, at least.
Somebody might have it. Somebody might have it in town. I just don't know who with the.
One of the things I ordered it on Amazon, and let me tell you, it is not, when you get, it was not really Blue Mountain when I got it. It was expensive, but it wasn't. But so I need to get on the Google and try to track it down and see who might have it. So the Japanese now, so they recognize it as a
Yes.
real delicacy.
Yeah, it's a real delicacy. Japan has bought those contracts for years.
Okay, so when you go into your lovely shop on Fifth Avenue in Redwood, and you go in and you're standing in line, you come up to the cash register and you say what?
Depending on who's behind the counter, I'll have a
You might make a
specific.
smart remark or something, but
I'll have a specific concoction, because the barista is very important to the production of whatever he or she is making
what is a
for you.
barista?
The barista is the master of the machine, the owner of the process, the one who actually makes the drink. And
Okay.
coffee can be carefully cultivated and properly roasted and intelligently stored, and it can be ruined right at the last minute. I mean, it can be
So
tackled right in
the maker of the coffee.
the maker of the coffee.
So that's a real art.
It is an art. It's skilled labor.
Okay,
And
so assuming that you have one that is of the quality you're looking for, what do you have?
well, I'll tell you what I had the other day at Cafe Calabria. I had a dark roast. It was a dark roast Colombian. No, I take that back. Dark roast Ethiopian that they had. An Ergachev that was just brilliantly done. It was a simple cup of coffee,
Wow.
but everything that should be in that cup of coffee was in that cup of coffee. And I've been doing this for close to 50 years. I mean, I'm kind of a geek, obviously, and I know what things ought to taste like, and this place had it.
Wow. So Arthur, you were saying something earlier that you were interested in understanding the different beans and the different places and what makes one Ethiopia or Guatemala or
And
uh,
I can actually kind of refine that question because, and this kind of actually brings me to your publication, The Espresso. So anyone who's listening who is unfamiliar with The Espresso, it is theespresso.com, all one word, exactly like you would think. And I've noticed that you have entries every single day with a different, should I say a different bean? Am I saying that right?
5 days a week, whatever roasters I can catch before noon, we highlight what they're roasting that day.
And Mike, I guess it's a two-part question. Part number one is, what is your process, or do you just know roasters and so you just stay in touch and stay? And then part two would be, yeah, to kind of go back to Mike's question, what distinguishes a bean from a bean? Is it the roasting? Is it the bean?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
touche. Yeah,
The short answer is yes.
yeah,
And I'll bring on another point in just a
please.
sec.
Yeah.
But coffee, specialty coffees are composed of numerous varietals of beans. There are two broad species, Arabica and Robusta. Within those broad labels, there are different varietals of hybridized coffees, all of which have their own characteristics of taste. You know, it's like apples. How many different kinds of apples there are, different kinds of varieties of coffee, of coffee beans. And you know, we sort of mix and match as do the roasters and the purveyors and the shippers and everyone else. Um, what is what is ought to be brought out, I'd like to back up a moment and explain that the coffee trade got on got on the curve of combating climate change long ago, beginning in about 1979, when one of the first hybrids of a specialty coffee came out to combat something called leaf rust, which is a disease that attacks trees and kills them, and a disease that is you know, promoted by high temperatures in the wrong places. The coffee trade started working broadly to change coffee to exist and prosper in a warmer world. And they have been kind of the tip of the spear of agriculture in dealing with issues of climate change. And long before it became controversial or even became known anywhere, people in coffee were working to combat it, or working to at least stay alive with these realities.
you know, yeah, I couldn't help but think when you were talking about the variety of beans, it almost sounded like the kind of conversation you have about grapes and wine.
Yes,
Similar?
very, very.
Okay, so we can't get to Macon Blue Mountain necessarily. Maybe around Christmas time or something like that. What's number two?
Well, my personal fave is our coffees from Burundi. Burundi is a tiny landlocked country in southern Africa, bordered by Rwanda, which is a hostile neighbor. It's a very poor country. It has a lot of problems, but the soil in Burundi is like the soil in Cuba for tobacco and cigars. There's something about the characteristics that make up the dirt in Burundi, which helps yield some truly wonderful, wonderful coffees.
So where do we get that? I'm gonna go there then. If
You go to Burundi.
Yeah. There are some roasters who have it seasonally. I think the season ended for that in January, so it's
Mhm.
still around. They don't produce a lot of it every year, but if you can find it and it's well handled, that stuff is marvelous.
is there a coffee shop you think that might have it?
The last one that I remember having it was the Coffee and Tea Collective on El Cajon Boulevard.
Well, and maybe if our government continues to destabilize, maybe our soil will start to become conducive to growing
Oh,
these
it already
beans.
is. It already is.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, so there is a direct correlation.
They
How
grow it in
interesting.
San Diego. They grow it
Interesting.
in San Diego. There's a company called Fringe with a J. And there's another gentleman named, his last name is Mraz. And they are growing coffee in the mountains east of here. It's a very expensive proposition. I looked at some numbers not long ago, and it might retail for something like $500 a pound.
Did they have to do anything to the
Is that-
soil to modify it so that it would have the proper conditions to grow, or is it natural there?
Not to my knowledge, but there's a lot of knowledge that I don't have about that available to me. So I really wouldn't know, but they do have the altitude, and they are growing coffee trees in areas where previously avocado trees were
Ah,
grown.
interesting.
So presumably the soil is optimal for that. However, the economics are a different story.
Where what are the cities that are the coffee centers? Where are the supreme?
Where's Mecca? Where is coffee Mecca?
Well, not so much Mecca, but I mean that's a good one. But no, but I'm thinking, we go to Maine for lobster, you know, so et cetera, et cetera. What would you say? What would you say?
Well, I'd say San Diego's in the running. And by the way, I finally remembered the name of that place. It's called International Coffee
Oh,
in San Diego. It's quartered here.
and that has the Burundi.
Well,
Maybe.
they might be able to source it.
Okay.
They
And where's
probably
it located?
that is downtown. I think it's still in the old building at 13th and J.
Okay,
They said- yeah.
I'll be over there in case you want to.
Well,
Meet up.
you check them on the web, but they're down there. I don't know if they're there today.
All right. So
but-
when you're at home, do you make coffee?
All the time.
What kind of coffee machine do you have?
I have a Bialetti.
A BLO. So that's
A
an Italian.
little Italian Bialetti. It turns out the caffeinated tar that I'm addicted to, and it's a wonderful thing. It's easy to do in the morning.
Is it just regular coffee?
Yeah, I was about to say, how do you take your coffee?
Thick?
No,
And
but I mean, is that regular coffee or is
Yes,
it? But,
yeah.
okay, so it's not espresso. It's not cappuccino.
No, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't necessarily be called a. Called an
Where'd you
espresso.
buy that machine? Is that generally available?
Yeah, I think I got it at a Ethiopian grocery store. They had Bialettis. I mean, you can find them pretty much anywhere. They're made in Italy. They've been making them for almost 100 years. They work wonderful. They work wonderfully well. They're very simple.
We've mentioned Ethiopia. We've mentioned Guatemala. What are the countries that are produce the best beans?
Oh,
Is that a fair question?
yeah, well, again, it depends on what best means, but
What I mean to you?
one nation that has improved its coffee production by leaps and bounds is Mexico, our neighbor to the south.
Why is that? What have they done?
They've kind of overhauled their systems, modernized, put money into it, and that is paying off really well for them. There's some excellent coffees that are coming out of Mexico.
And where do you get those?
Here in San Diego, you can get them most anywhere. There's a lot of cross-border trade.
Is there a Mexico coffee area, a particular area of Mexico?
Well, yes, Chiapas, Veracruz.
Is that
yeah.
the northern or southern, Arthur?
Good question. We were actually just discussing Mexico geography today. I happen to have a map right here. We
Where-
will see Veracruz. I think it's kind of central, if I recall. I'll come up with it later, but yeah, I don't want to interrupt your flow.
So do you make your own coffee?
Well, yes.
So when you say you make your own coffee, how far into the process do you go? I'm imagining you purchase beans and grind them. Do you roast your beans?
I can roast beans. I mean, I've done it often. It's a very small scale sort of thing, but I had people who taught me how to do it, and all it is time and fire. It's
Yeah.
if you have a hot plate and a wok or a dedicated pan, yeah, you can roast
So,
coffee.
but practically speaking, you buy your coffee where?
Boy, I get a lot shipped to me. It shows up at my door.
Oh, there you do.
But where I buy coffee lately, um, Cafe Moto, Cafe Calabria,
And Cafe Moto again, where is that located?
that is in Barrio Logan at 26th and National.
Okay.
And they're San Diego's primary roaster. We mentioned Bob Sinclair and the Panikin earlier,
Right.
and Cafe Moto was the direct.
Is that a Mexican coffee that you can get there?
You can get a lot of different coffees
Right.
there. They range. They have a lot of different things from everywhere on Earth there, and coffee is seasonal, so it changes. And the coffee that you're drinking in January is not necessarily the stuff you're going to be drinking in July.
We're talking to Mr. Coffee, and there used to be a coffee machine that he called Mr. Coffee, but we have a real live Mr. Coffee. John was with us today, the publisher of the Espresso publication, and you can get that on your internet. Arthur, that address is.
The espresso, all one word, .com.
So, what are the latest developments that you would like to talk about in the world of coffee, John?
Well, aside from coffee defining itself in a changing climate world, the one thing I would like to have people know is that their money spent on coffees can have a profound impact on that world and on the world of agriculture as well. I've always told people money is a weapon. The Supreme Court said its speech, actually, it's a weapon. People should use it as such, in my opinion. And one way they can do that is to find the stuff that they like, support the farmers and the roasters and the people who bring it to them, and shape the market thereby. And if you like Jamaica Blue Mountain, find the people who get it to you, spend your money with them. The outcome of that in the longer run is to put more money into the people who are doing a better job, growing a better product, and in the aggregate, working hard to preserve coffee and other agricultural products for future generations as the world changes.
Mm-hmm. If I go on your if I go on the espresso, .com, if I go on there, how is that going to educate me? What will that give me that I need to have?
Well, it'll tell you who's roasting what on a given day. It might inspire you to do a little digging, and it might inspire me to actually stop being so lazy and give people some definitions on my site, which I really should do about coffees.
Maybe a glossary for some of us less educated
Yeah,
folk.
I need to do that. So
You know what I would love to see would be because I'm seeing almost daily entries. I would love to see a coffee of the week, maybe, and if you don't already have that going, an editor's choice award or something fun like that.
that would be a good thing. I tend to stay away from those kinds of things because ultimately everybody has an opinion. Everybody's opinion about what they like is as good as anybody else's, and what I like, a lot of other people wouldn't, they wouldn't touch. But yeah, I hear you, and
It's kind of fun. An editor's choice,
something.
When I was in law school, we would have dinners. Law students would get together and pool their resources, and then at the end, after the wine was consumed and the dessert was over, they would have coffee with their dessert. They'd have coffee after dinner.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like that's trailed off some. Is that true, or am I
That's a good question.
I'll have
Mike.
to pull up some statistics for you. Prevalence of coffee after dinner.
It used to be coffee, sir, with your dessert.
Well, after the theater, people make a run to the local coffee house. The few that are still open late at night, which
That I
not
get.
too many of them
Yeah.
left anymore.
That I get, but what I'm just wondering is, There used to be a coffee called U-Ban.
Yes,
I don't think it exists anymore.
it's good for roses.
I just remembered that I was just in Berkeley, and I remember going to this one of those dinners, and it was a very lovely dinner at the level of a law student. And then we had U-Ban coffee afterwards, and that seemed awfully refined, awfully. Whatever happened to U-Ban?
Yeah, I don't know.
It
I
just
don't.
disappeared.
It's you grind in a can is a whole different world, and it's not something that not something.
Okay, but here's the thing: there is a brand of Italian coffee.
Mhm.
It comes in a silver canister, and then you have to. It's air locked, so you have to pull off the thing. It goes, poof, it
Yeah.
pops. And they sell it at Mona Lisa's. They sell it at Lazy Acres. I don't know if they sell it at. I don't think they sell it at what's a really lovely store, grocery store that everybody goes to.
Trader Joe's.
No, no.
Vons.
Oh,
Sprouts.
Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's. Okay.
I was going to keep going.
No, Trader Joe's. And but I love it. And I have this there's a half and half substitute that's made out of peas.
Peas.
Yes, and
Okay.
you can get it at
Trader-
Pete's,
Oh,
and you can get it over at Whole Food over at Lazy Acres.
You go to Pete's a lot.
I used to a lot.
Mhm.
Well, let's look. Here's the thing. I love Pete's, and I used to go over to Pete's when I don't know why I had more time 10 years ago, but I'd go over there and we'd have the most amazing conversations and, sit around on a Sunday, from let's say 9:30 to 11.
I know that location is full of smart people every morning.
Well, there are two guys that are musicians, and they are jazz musicians, and they play over. And I don't know. I don't remember the name, but they're just two lovely guys, and they play over at Balboa Park. There's some venue there across from the restaurant, from the Prado restaurant, and they play. And so we got into a conversation, and I said, well, I love jazz. I really love jazz. I just saw this Ken Burns documentary on jazz, but what should I know about jazz? And they said Louis Armstrong when he first started off.
Yeah.
So I went back, and his first albums back in the 30s are just amazing.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
so much fun. And I started thinking about, and I was talking to this guy. I said, could you imagine you have a radio driving in your car, or maybe pulled off, with some friends, and you're just, overlooking the lake or something, and you are listening to jazz, this type of jazz over your radio. That's and I'm thinking of stuff, things really haven't changed that much. We used to get the radio, now we have the iPhone, we have all the other things, but for the most part, it was instantaneous. And it was, and Louis Armstrong, he was such an interesting person, because I knew of him much, much later, when he was sort of a common denominator with, people like Richard Nixon or somebody like that. But what about that? What about jazz clubs? I know they're probably more alcohol than jazz, or they used to call them the beatniks. Remember that, the beat, and who was the great Arthur? Who's the great poet?
Allen Ginsberg.
Allen Ginsberg. You see how Arthur is? He's a genius. You say one thing. Oh, okay, Ginsberg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll tell you, that's why I make the big bucks.
There you
You know what
go.
I mean,
There-
baby?
You've read Ginsberg, haven't you?
I've read Howl.
Okay. What's Hal?
Howl was his kind of most famous long
What
form
and then
poem.
Kerouac? What about
Jack Kerouac. Yeah, I've read a lot more Kerouac than
But
Ginsberg.
were they considered beatniks?
Yeah, Kerouac was kind of considered one of the fathers of the beat movement
But
in the
was that
50s.
coffee? Was there some coffee in there somewhere?
They seemed less interested in coffee and more interested in sort of the freedom that came with experimenting with mind-altering
Okay,
substances.
all right, never mind. Let's go.
Well, no, I mean, not necessarily anything unseemly. Just, they like to kind of drink alcohol and kind of,
all right.
smoke jazz cabbage and,
Okay,
Understood.
so John, right now, is coffee at the beginning, the middle, or I should say, is it at the start, the middle, or the apex of its popularity, you think?
Boy, that's a good question. The apex of its popularity. That's a tough question to answer, Mike, because there's so many different facets of it. The coffee houses, at least the ones here, um, have changed certainly since COVID. They've changed their hours, they've changed their format. A lot of them have changed their feel, and fewer of them are places that host entertainment of different kinds. Uh, that is something that sadly too few of them do, in my opinion.
Okay,
Well, and not
And-
to state the obvious also, but I think a major cultural shift has come from the popularity of Starbucks. Coffee has
Yeah.
become much more about dropping into a Starbucks, getting your favorite 11 different, venti, whatever the heck, and going about your business, and you see it in everybody. So I think that that's kind of changed.
The drive-through is
The drive-through.
the drive-through is the leading face of specialty coffee now. And that's
There
everywhere.
you go.
So the trade publications all recommend the same thing. If you're going to start a coffee business, you got to have a drive-through.
Drive-through, yeah.
Do a drive-through.
There you
well,
go.
and drive-throughs are
but at the
zipless.
But at
Yeah.
the same time, though, you see all these little, like the Better Buzz. There's one in Pacific Beach. There's one over in Hillcrest.
Oh, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of
So
them.
so there does seem still. So what is still vital and current?
Well, things are changing, Mike. I mean, to give you an example, there's a new place or new-ish place that opened on 30th, south of Adams, and it's a tiny, tiny room, but their shtick is coffee and jazz.
Okay, there you go.
So walk in, get coffee. The guy who runs it used to roast for, I believe it was a Coffee and Tea Collective at one time. Started his own place, but you go to his place, you get a great espresso, and there are LPs that you can listen to and buy.
Oh my gosh.
So
There's a place called Extraordinary Desserts.
yes,
It's on 4th Avenue.
right.
It used to be on 5th Avenue, and they had that horrible event there.
Yeah, the shooting or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Terrible, terrible. But anyway, but Extraordinary Desserts is there. And then right next door is a very lovely little coffee shop.
Yeah, James.
James. Okay,
Mhm.
John.
He's got him.
Okay, we're gonna have a contest between
I was there yesterday.
we're gonna have a contest between John and Arthur. Okay, Arthur.
I think we would rather team up maybe and go do trivia as a team.
No,
I think.
but Extraordinary Desserts is a unique,
Oh, it
really
is.
unique
It
spot. I mean,
is. It is.
nobody does what they do.
It's extraordinary.
But
It
here's
is,
I,
right.
and I bought birthday cakes there, and I pay homage to them. They're wonderful. But here's the crazy thing. Around the corner on 5th, there's a bakery that opens up only every now and then.
Right.
And so I'm over at James, sipping on their wonderful cappuccino with oat milk
Hmm.
outside, and right next door, the table next to us, I see these people have this husband just comes walking up and he's got this beautiful bag, or not bag, but box, and he's got this amazing bakery items coming out of it. And I'm saying, oh, did you get that Extraordinary Dessert? Oh, no, we didn't go to Extraordinary Dessert. We walked around the block to the place that's open like 3 days a week, and we got it there. And I thought, okay,
Yeah.
now how unique is that? This sort of what we would call it boutique or specialty bakery places that can pop up, put out for 2 or 3 days, close it down, and be competitive with something like Extraordinary Desserts.
I congratulate them on their good fortune,
Yeah.
because that is not common. What it would seem to indicate, at least to me, is that they've done their math, all their numbers add up for them, and they can
Make it
profit,
work.
yeah, with that model.
Now, do you
More power to them.
are you also a wine connoisseur as well?
Not nearly as much as for coffee, but raised the way that we were in the culture that we were, we had a good acquaintance with wine. My grandfather made wine. Everybody made wine.
Well, okay. So, and you said you were Italian.
Yes.
I isn't that funny? Because my favorite coffee, and you would look down on me. You would kick sand in my face if we were at the beach.
Never,
I
never.
would. Yes, you would, because you would think you're Mike. You're kind of a wimp when it comes to coffee, but I love this Italian coffee.
I have a gift for you.
Yes.
There's a roaster in San Diego called Archidiacono. He has a place on Moreno Boulevard, and he roasts uh, dark roasted multi-bean espresso blends.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I
No. That. Well,
absolutely love
but am
his
I
stuff.
wrong to love Italian coffee?
No, of course not.
Is
Of course.
Italian coffee it's kind of like the World Cup is, Italy didn't make it to the World Cup, but would they make it to the World Cup of coffee?
Yeah, it's its own taste profile, and it is as valid as anybody else's. I love this stuff, and if you the next time you're in Little Italy and you go to the
The roaster?
the Casa de Amici on Date Street, uh, a block or two up from the church, that's where they retail it.
Okay.
But Archidiacono, 7-bean, 5-bean, however many bean blend, that's wonderful stuff. And they usually have a coffee cart that brews it on site, so you can.
How many times in a week? John,
Yes.
hey, John, listen, can you help me? I'm having, can you give me some ideas? Here's what I'm looking for,
Yeah,
John.
daily, hourly. It's one of the great things about being a geek is other people want to know what you know.
Do you find that your popularity, that you're being used because of your?
I'm always happy to help.
Oh, that's
Always happy to help.
all right. So, what do you have with your coffee in the morning?
I take it black.
Take it black. No,
Yeah.
no cream. No.
So yeah, if I have dairy, I use cream.
You do
Yeah,
the real thing, the
yeah,
whipping.
the real thing.
Not
real
oat
thing.
milk.
No,
Not
no, no.
the what I
No,
can't-
and the reason why I would recommend using real cream is because for many coffees, especially things like Mexico or Central American coffees, which tend toward a lighter, brighter, more acidy kind of poppiness. If you find that that's a little too much because you maybe
Mhm.
overbrewed it, or if it's just too much for you, the heavy dairy balances that out.
Yeah, I
And-
could see that.
Yeah.
Okay, you're listening to KNSJ. We're having this really fun conversation about coffee, and I read somewhere some person was drinking unbelievable numbers of cups of coffee a day. I don't know if you ever saw that report, but it was like crazy number, like 150 cups of coffee a day. So now I've seen some reports that say that coffee is actually good for you. Is that because that was paid for by the coffee industry, or is that something you can objectively say, yes, coffee and the right level is good?
there's a lot of science all over the board about that. It tends toward positive attributes of coffee. I'm by no means expert
On the medical side?
yeah, I mean that's way beyond anything I know. However, there does seem to be a preponderance of literature these days about how great coffee is for you. I have some friends who are diabetic who drink a lot of it because it is reputed to help balance out their sugars and
Oh,
be
wow.
good for their liver. I don't know any of the details about that.
Now, John is wearing a very lovely white, I believe, Mexican embroidered shirt. Is that right? Did I
Yes.
get that right?
Yes.
And you've already told us you're Italian. You're not Mexican. So where did you get that beautiful shirt? And does that have some connection to the coffee world?
I think it was a gift. It was a gift from one of the growers.
From one of the
That-
growers.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Years ago. I mean, it's an old shirt, but
Well,
it's comfortable and it's a hot day.
Yeah.
So this is the thing to wear.
sure. It gives me, okay. So New York City,
Yes.
can you get just about anything that you need in New York?
You can get some
Coffee-wise?
great coffee in New York.
There you go.
That's where a lot of it is shipped to. Yes.
San Francisco?
Oakland, yes.
Oakland.
Yeah.
Okay. Why Oakland?
Well, actually, you touch on something that's worth knowing. The coffee, when it comes to the United States, usually lands at either Hoboken, New Jersey, New Orleans, um, uh, Oakland, or occasionally at Long Beach. Those are the main ports of entry for the world's coffee to the United
When it
States.
comes, it's in what?
Oh, containers on ships
And
and
is
bags.
it's in bags,
In
and then the
bags,
bags get
yeah.
into the containers
Yeah, bags and containers and
and
yeah.
shipped up from.
Oh, all over the world. All over the world. The coffee, the coffee growing regions of the world are between the Tropic of Capricorn and the Tropic of Cancer, Indonesia, Central and South America, Africa, um, and all of those regions have particular uh, characteristics that shape and flavor the coffee. Different varietals are native to certain
Is
areas.
there a book that you can recommend to folks that gives you the history of coffee and try to educate as much as possible?
Yeah, there's a lot of newer ones. I know some of the older stuff. There's a book by a fellow named Euchre, Uker, that is kind of an encyclopedia of the world's coffee. There's also something by a fellow named Kenneth Davids, who's been writing books on preparing coffee for at least 40 years, and his stuff is an excellent read. He knows about machines, beans, and how to do it well and do it simply.
What are
Um,
what's the word for a wine connoisseur? A
Sommelier.
Arthur,
Sommelier.
a sommelier. Then
Oui, oui.
are they from? What if you're from Somalia? Can you be a sommelier?
Somalian sommelier.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay. So is there something similar for coffee? Coffee brew?
Coffee.
A coffee
Uh,
brew?
Yeah, I mean, actually, the only term that I keep hearing over and over again is, coffee geek.
Coffee geek.
Yeah, coffee
It
geek.
seems
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
and
just-
that is
it doesn't do, sommeliers. I mean, we gotta think of a better descriptive word.
speaking of geeks. There are two of them that I would like to, excuse me, two of them that I would like to make known for different reasons. One, the guy who I go to when I have a question about coffee, because he is a walking, talking encyclopedia, is a fellow named Rigo Hernandez, who operates a business called Espress Fix. They repair machines. They do anything you need to an espresso machine. He also roasts coffee, and his organization is called Nectar. And Nectar is retailed in, obviously, a beer brewery in Point Loma,
Oh,
near Point Loma Seafood. That's where you get it. But Rigo, I have never met anyone in my life who is as knowledgeable about every possible aspect of the trade anywhere than that man.
well, let's have you both on.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
we can get him on,
he's great.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
He's marvelous. And the other one is a fellow who has reinvented himself and who I have a lot of respect for. His name is Chuck Patton. He originally founded Bird Rock Coffee. I'm sure you've heard of that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Bird Rock. He's now doing a one-man show once again, and his organization is called Chuck Roasts Coffee, and he's on Voltaire in Ocean Beach. And great guy, and a man who knows his coffee and has gone all over the world in search of buying it and bringing it in something called direct trade, which is when a roaster literally goes anywhere in the world to a farmer and negotiates the sale of that farmer's crop to that roaster and brings it back for that year and roasts it. So
Wow.
you're getting a specific product from a specific place, from a specific man or people, and deserves a lot of respect.
We have only about 4 minutes left. Will you take the rest of the time and just kind of say whatever else you were going to say today?
Do you have a monologue prepared? Because we would
No,
love to
I-
just sit back and relax and let
Actually,
you
no, I
wax.
didn't. I covered a lot of ground. I talked about the using money as a weapon and urged the people to think economically about
Now,
Yeah,
for our
what
listeners,
they
we don't
put-
want you to be confused and start wrapping up your dollar bills and trying to stab people with them. That's not the message we're
Well,
trying
not
to get
yet.
across.
No,
Yeah.
not yet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's-
No, but you know what John is saying is that uh,
Vote
the
with your wallet.
the coffee uh, growers and coffee those involved in the industry, it is a fragile industry, and don't take for granted the wonderful coffee that you're getting. Become
Precisely.
knowledgeable
Precisely.
and be supportive.
Yeah, coffee unfortunately is going to change in not too distant future. There are going to be some places where we're not going to get it from anymore. One of those might take a little longer, but Colombia. Colombia is the universal donor of coffees to every other blend on Earth. And they're losing area of coffee growing real estate because the weather is changing. Their winters are beating the life out of the trees,
Oh,
and they can't grow them any longer. And that's changing. The same thing, you mentioned Jamaica. Jamaica is looking at similar kinds of problems. Indonesia, the weather there is getting hotter. It's getting
It's
warmer.
having an impact on this wonderful.
I thought climate change was just a woke hoax made up by Al Gore. I thought it was, yeah. Isn't that's what they keep saying on Fox News. So I don't know.
Yeah, you should talk to the coffee roasters and especially the brokers.
That's
They'll
fake
say-
news. They're probably just paid by liberals.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
But sugar and chocolate, cacao and tea, everything. It's the
Oh,
growing
I should ask you
stages.
one. Okay. So, tea was made. The English discovered tea that was in India and China. Is that right? And then coffee came a little bit later. So in England, their primary beverage of the
Yeah.
type is tea. Is that about right? Or did
Yeah, more or less. The English got to India, found tea, developed tea, and shaped their culture around it.
All right. Well, listen. I think we're out of time.
I would like to share that I did find out some of that key information about whether coffee is taken with dessert after dinner.
Go ahead.
Most of the world and New York, the US doesn't tend to go there. So just for our listeners on Talk of the Town, we come up with the answers for you guys.
Because I can't have caffeine, because if I have caffeine, I won't be able to get a night's sleep. Okay, well,
You
I
need
guess that
decaf.
tells you something right there. Okay, well, listen, everybody, it's been great. Try to just keep things in perspective. You know, we've had a tough week this last week with the unfortunate killing of a father down in Houston by the ICE. You know, we're back with the irregular behavior of our person who we don't mention. We just call it the T word. That's one of the worst words. you
Stay
can
safe
use.
out there, everyone.
And we'll see you next week. Thanks so much, Mike and Gary, Arthur, John, Talk of the Town, and have a wonderful week.
Thank you for joining us on Talk of the Town with former San Diego City Attorney Mike Aguirre here on KNSJ
Alex, did everyone leave?
Yeah.
Actually, one thing that you might, and it's unfortunate, but out earlier, but Ryan Brothers Coffee, Mario Logan, has a proprietary group bottled,
Uh-huh.
and one of them is called the Green Coffee.
Oh.
This is, it's made from unroasted coffees. It's
Uh-huh.
water, coffee beans soaked in water, and it's kind of minty and
Uh-huh.
very bright flavor, and it's pale green in a bottle. You drink it cold. You drink one of those at 10 o'clock in the morning, we're going to be awake at 10 o'clock. But
What's it called again?
the green coffee extra.
Okay.
But the nice thing about it is that you don't have this rush, the jitters, the mania. It's just
It's a nice high.
awake.
I love it. All right, all right.
I mean,
Green,
if-
the green one more time.
Green coffee extract, Ryan Brothers Coffee.
All right.
And for you, Arthur, look up frequentcoffee.com. They're in San Diego.
Alex, do they have their headphones on?
And their specialty is thank you. Their specialty is
Fantastic.
Does John have his headphones on?
Well, appreciate it. Thanks so much for.
part of San Diego.
I live in Claremont.
Oh, not anymore.
Because I never really see any coffee places. Yeah, not so much. It's more kind of what North South Park.
Yeah. But the other one,
Alex, are you there?
I'm here.
Can you turn the camera back on? Or have they all left?
There.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah.
across the street. Trailer is a
Huh.
everything.
Oh, I see
Looking it up right now.
John's taking off.
Hello, Penny
Or can John put his headphones on?
Park, Mission Bay Beach. Yeah, I think so. I think it looks like the Hello Penny bar.
That's
Yeah.
yeah,
Wild.
It's kind
No kidding. How fun.
it's a great space.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I surely do.
But yeah, Claremont.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just that there's not. Thank you, Alex.
All right, yeah. Right,
Tell John thank you for me.
Marie says thank you. Okay, let's send the file over right now. You should just use the AI tracking. It's still tracking. Kind of just follows.
Okay, Alex, thank you too.
Oh, you're welcome, Marie. How's everything?
How's everything? I'm really having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, yeah. How is
Oh,
everything?
Yeah, personal stuff's a problem right now.
Yeah, no, I feel ya. My personal stuff, I'm always in some weird dichotomy of good and,
Yeah,
what I think is good and then what I hope would be good in the future but then there's the present time and so yeah.
yeah. Are you with your shift changing to Saturdays? Are you working 6 days a week or?
No, actually, there's an update. So, instead of having Sunday or Saturdays, or instead of having Sundays off, I have Saturdays off now.
Oh,
So I have Saturdays and Wednesdays off.
oh, not even 2 days in a row together.
Um, but
Oh,
the one day that I'm actually looking forward to is the Wednesday off. Like Saturday, Sunday off is good, but everything's closed. Like I have to do like car stuff, I have to go to the post office. So many
oh,
other,
that's right.
so
Yeah.
many things that are closed but open during the week. So looking forward to the Wednesday. But yeah, good news. I can be here for Saturday still. So
Oh, well, then thank you. Thank you for that.
yeah, I figure since I'm already kind of getting up same time, um, I haven't really had any issues so far.
Uh,
So yeah, just kind of building up the routine coming in
yeah.
Saturdays here.
Is the job still going well for you?
Oh, it's getting to the point where like there's no pretty much it's like you go to like the military for example, everyone's like 18 to 22, 18 to
Oh, you'd mentioned that before.
yeah, and then like I should be like in operations or something.
Uh,
I shouldn't be on on the field with everyone else at um but to be honest, like there needs to be people like me that are doing um you know just good work regardless of sale or not.
yes.
Like retention and a lot of the de-escalation, which I'm finding out that the sales team, my team, they do not de-escalate. They just transfer out like immediately. Instead of doing the work and trying to help them, it's like, okay, this is too difficult. I'm transferring you out, and then they transfer them to me, and I'm on the same team. And I'm like, what the heck? No, no, now I have to do it, which I
Mm-hmm.
don't mind doing it, but they don't
Just,
say anything either. It's like a cold transfer.
mm,
But yeah, it's my own teammates that can't do it, and then I'm getting that. But it's super. Yeah, I like it because I get to work on my comedy. Um, having
to work on your what?
my comedy,
What's that?
like de-escalation, very angry customer. Um,
Oh, I see. Comedy. I thought you were saying comedy as in comedian.
oh no, exactly. Yeah. Those are the best people to if they can laugh, someone that's super angry, upset, been waiting for
Oh, I
45 minutes,
see. Yeah.
irritated, you're just like everyone else, you don't listen, those are the ones.
Uh,
Yeah, they're the best people to sway because they're already on the edge. So if I
yeah.
can make them laugh about whatever it is, then I consider that as a success. So
Oh, good.
yeah, one time this lady was so upset because our system was just so messed up that once I figured it out, I told her that I want to prevent this from happening to our future agents. But the problem is I don't remember how I got to this point of figuring things out.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked her if she could raise her voice at me so I can feel the pressure and I can figure it out once more.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I, I, I don't. Wow, that would never occur to me.
um, yeah,
Oh
so
my gosh.
can you raise your voice a little louder so I can figure this out, please? It's for
Uh,
the both of us.
oh
And yeah, she started laughing
gosh.
immediately.
Oh
She
gosh.
wasn't prepared for it.
No, I would not be either.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
that's just one, but usually every day I'll have one of those that's
Uh,
pretty memorable. I had this one customer who called in. He immediately wanted me to get a manager, and I'm just like, okay, what happened? And turn to find out, my coworker just across from me, they had this like incident together where my coworker pretty much hung up on him, and the customer was just trying to pry the name. He's like, "What's his name?" or "What's their name?" And I'm like, I can't give you that information, but let me help you.
Mhm.
It took a while just to talk to the guy because he was, he felt that he was mistreated, and
Yeah.
so I talked to my coworker on the side, and I'm like, what happened? And then my coworker's like, just hang up on him. I'm like, no, like, I'll see if I can help him, but what happened? And then coworker says that the guy pretty much calls him um, a bad word. He calls him uh, the D head, you know.
Oh.
And then I come back on and I start talking to the guy, and I'm like, "Did you say something to my coworker though?" And then the guy was like, "Well, yeah, I pretty much was, I was at my last straw, but I'm sorry, it just happened, it slipped out. Like, what did you call him?" And then customer says what he called him.
Huh.
I'm like, "Well, his name's not Richard, so why'd you call him that?" Richard, another name for, uh, you know, uh,
Mm.
Richard
Yeah.
Head.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that irate customer couldn't stop laughing either. Because
Oh,
he
wow,
wanted.
the stories you have to tell.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun stuff. It's usually just a one in the moment. I don't have any catchphrases or anything. Uh, Usually every call is unique, so it's hard to replicate like some of the jokes that I say. Um, but I get like the general, like I could try to like reword it. Like one other customer, she was just so like spent, like she had nothing left in her, right? After a move, like she just moved locations. So she's pretty tired. And then some of the agents will say, well, you're starting a brand new life, brand new lease on life with the new place. And I was telling her that maybe I shouldn't say, brand new lease or brand new life, like maybe a second hand or like a pre-owned lease, just because a brand new one's pretty expensive. It just sounds expensive,
Yeah.
But getting a second hand uh, a lease on life, it seems like it's more manageable than a brand new one. It's
Yeah.
yeah, definitely you have to be in the moment. I definitely try to cater and curate a joke for that customer, but yeah, that's the only way I can have fun. And then the last one was last night. This guy calls in and he tells me to prepare myself because um, he's going to bring over 100, maybe 150 different customers to disconnect our services. And I'm just like, okay, like what's going on? And he starts
Yeah.
telling me the service, their video service is, last straw type of thing. Like they pay for these things, and every night there's a different channel out, and just he's organized all the tenants, all of his neighbors, weekly meetings on how to go about terminating the contract, uh, his property, so the property that he lives in, and our services, my job services, and pretty much I'm just like, okay, well, that's the property management team. We're gonna have to talk to them, who then
Mhm.
has to talk to our business development team. So this is gonna take, it's gonna take a while, and
So
then
people then they get transferred to a lot of different departments.
sometimes, yeah,
That gets that that frustrates me as a customer.
oh no, totally. That
Yeah.
lady uh, that I told that needed to raise her voice so I could.
Yeah.
She was put on hold for 45 minutes, and then
Oh,
the agent was like, and she's just trying to help out. Her job was, um, her family got into the assisted living facility industry, so she's trying to take care of incoming, new tenants, elderly. They just want to watch their show, or get
mhm.
their internet. And then on my end, um, pretty much you have to do a little extra to find their contract.
Yeah.
The agent couldn't find it, put her on hold for 45 minutes,
Oh my
um,
gosh.
came back and said, okay, just give me one more moment. I'm almost done here. And then another 45 minutes goes
Oh
by,
my gosh.
and then he just hangs up. And then
Yeah.
So yeah, I heard her frustrations. She was super angry every time she called. This is what was going to happen to her, was that type of 45-minute hang up.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, she was on speakerphone and I couldn't really hear her, so she got closer to the microphone, and then every time she enunciated or pronounced like a V or B, it was like,
Oh, the plosives. Yeah.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
ma'am, can you just step away?
And blow your blow your ear out.
Back away from the microphone, please. But still keep that same anger in your tone. Um, I'm almost done.
Oh my.
But yeah, that's pretty much work. And
Is
my
there any chance for advancement?
the only advancement would be to be a lead, and to be a lead over there. Not only do I have to know everything, I have to like be, I have to, cross all the X's, dot all the I's, and all that stuff. The work stuff.
Mm.
Um, which I guess that could be easy, but yeah, I think I should be there now just for the de-escalation part.
Uh-huh.
No one knows how to de-escalate at all, and I, yeah, I think that's just like seasoned, seasoned type of people that can handle that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in sales, so everyone gets frustrated, after a couple of no's. Like, yeah, of course, like, the first no, like maybe the second no you stop, but you keep prying and stuff, and they keep saying no. Like, there's plenty of other calls, we can.
Mhm.
It's fine. Just go off to the next one. But yeah, our job is sales, and we can get a sale every call. Like, that's great for us, but I mean, reality, it's like it's pretty difficult to upsell someone.
De-escalation is really important. If you want to
Yeah,
hang on to a customer.
exactly. Retention. The customer that was organizing those tenants to uh, to with to withhold payment,
Mm-hmm.
um, de-escalated him. I figured out what the reason was, and then it's like, okay, so it's your cable TV. You guys want to watch certain channels, so let's just get rid of the cable and then just use internet. And then
Mm.
from there, all he had to do was just download the TV app onto his smart TV, and then there you go. You get the same access to your TV package without the cable box, and he gets to use his normal TV remote.
Mm.
He had no idea about that. And I was like, yeah, just maybe pass those notes along to the other 100 other neighbors you have.
Yeah, problem solving. Wow, that's quite an art.
But did I pitch mobile? Did I did I pitch him anything? At that point, I'm just happy that he's not, litigating or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was the main thing. Did you pitch mobile, Alex? I'm like, I didn't. They're like, okay, well, you didn't do your job, so good job. And I'm just like, okay, right. They didn't say it like that, but pretty much, yeah. Since I didn't pitch them anything,
Mm.
they didn't really care. And I'm like, this guy organized like 100 neighbors and was willing to pay, like the next service providers a year's worth of service for each one of his neighbors. Like that's a lot of money that he's willing to
Yes, wow.
put down, and they're like, "Well, you didn't sell anything to him, so." Just like, ugh. Yeah, that's how I feel. The hard work I put in isn't really seen, and then when someone makes the sale too, it's like it's ridiculous because they pretend that they had to really work at them. You know, like they really knew the customer. They built up a relationship. The customer now trusts them. The customer says, "Okay, let's do it." Like it's very rare that that happens. Most of the time, the customer just sees an ad, or sees something on the internet, and then they
Yeah.
inquire, and then yeah, sure, you made the sale. That's what they wanted. Customer was looking for it. So,
Right.
but I'll let you get going though, Marie.
Okay. Well, again, thank you very much, and thank you for donating your time on these future Saturdays. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna send the WeTransfer right now. It's
Okay.
gonna be the audio file, but it should be good.
Right. Yeah.
And then when
Oops.
I have time, I will. Let's see, was it sent? Okay, it's been sent. I'll try to work on the YouTube page, just because the Facebook, those videos on Facebook will delete after 30 days. So there's really
Yeah, I can't remember if you were the one who told me or somebody else. Because I was surprised when I went back to take a look for some of the videos that they weren't there.
Yeah, so 30 days, that's pretty much it on YouTube or on Facebook. So
Well, it would be wonderful to have us with fresh stuff on YouTube.
yeah, exactly, with its own YouTube page, so maybe Talk of the Town page or something. Definitely some things we have to all kind of sit down and figure out together. But all right, I'm gonna head out. Files sent, everything else
Okay.
good.
Oh, here it is. I see it. All right. Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome. I'll see you
Talk
around.
to you later. Bye.